Welcome to your day 3 of our 7-day detox into these toxic workplaces where we're working. I wouldn't want you to quit your job without a plan. I don't want you to be emotional about quitting your job. I don't want it to be eventually impulsive. And this is why most of the clients that come to me after they have left their work environments are confused, they are messed up, they are sick physically and emotionally. And that could take a wrong turn if you find yourself in that situation, especially if you don't get to be assisted on time. What I'm encouraging you to do, now that you are aware that it's toxic, I want you to sit down and plan the exit. You cannot plan the exit if your mind is not calm. You cannot think properly if your mind hasn't calmed down. You have to now start getting hold of your emotions, of your mind, of your feelings. And today's session is clearly about that. I'm going to take some extraction out of my book, Are You Divorcing a Narcissist? Get Your Power Back. This is a very good handbook that you can have to actually exit toxic environments, including the toxic work environment. And perhaps 2 people or 3 people that you have to divorce would be probably the bully that is bullying you, and the whole environment that is the system, and certainly yourself who has acclimatized into this environment and wanting to fit in so much and you're not fitting in. One of the things that we also realize is that what your mind is focused on, that does translate into the body, and that's why we get sick. And today I just want to talk about one of the exercises that you can do to free these emotions that you have banked in the body. The simple exercise is called Emotional Freedom Technique. This is the kind of technique where you see us tapping our body, tapping everywhere, and then you're thinking, why is she slapping herself so much? But we're slapping ourselves because we know that at those meridian points, they are connected to the organs in our bodies. And those organs and parts in our bodies that hold on to these emotions, once we tap on them, we get to release it. So I'll quickly just take you through the meridian points that we tap at, and what are they connected to, and what emotions are sitting there. And perhaps we can then come up with what emotions do we want to reprogram into our bodies. Because you see, when you sit in there with a body that is overwhelmed and now you are frozen because you don't know what to do, then you get overwhelmed. You can't think properly. But once you start to calm the mind, regulate the body, then you start to have different ideas, and now you can focus on what the problem is, and in that focus come up with solutions. So the first meridian point that we tap at is called the karate chop. This is this part here where you chop, like, your karate chop. So you literally will be tapping there. And the karate chop is where your small intestine is connected to, but that's where you're holding on to being stuck, grief. And once you get to release that, you start to take action and start moving forward. Even your thoughts will be those that are moving you forward, not the ones that are holding you back. And that's what the karate chop is about. So that's the first point that we tap at to release. The next one is the eyebrow. Literally, we do it here at the eyebrow, at the tip of the eyebrow. And the eyebrow is connected to the bladder. That's where we hold on to anxiety, sadness, and a lot of trauma. And once we get to tap on this and release these emotions, we get to have a sense of peace and some level of emotional balance and healing that we get to have. Then we have the side eye. On this side of the eye, that's where the gallbladder is sitting, and that's where you release your resentment and anger. Just think about it. When you are in this environment, toxic work environment, you do have a lot of anger and resentment because of how you treated, how you are sidelined, how you are bullied, you picked on, how you actually don't even want to wake up and go to the office the following day. Then we have the under the eye. This is where it's linked to the stomach, and the stomach holds on to fear and anxiety. That's why you get that little in your stomach. And some people actually have a challenge with a runny tummy, cramps, being bloated because of this that we feel. And once we can let go of that, we'll start to slowly feel safe. The next one is under the nose. That's one of the other points that we have. And under the nose is where we have the governing vessel that holds on to shame, powerlessness. We feel like we don't have our power, we don't know what to do, and we let go. The chin, that's the central meridian. It holds on to confusion and uncertainty. So when we are confused and uncertain, every time you just thinking, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go, a little tap here will help release that. The collarbone, just here under their collarbone, this is exactly where you go and tap, and that's where you letting go of being stuck. The next one will be under the arm. This is literally here where for the ladies, that's where your bra ends. And once you start tapping there and releasing that, you let go of guilt and worry, and you stop being obsessed with this environment and you let go of it. And then the last one that we do is top of the head. That is like the crown. That's where we let go of our depression and all these other things that make us mentally unstable. And now I'm going to have another routine that you will now go into your workbook and look at the link to the next video that is going to help you have a whole routine on what to say, how to say it, so that as you letting go of these emotions out of the body, you can reprogram the emotions that you want into the body. This way, you stop being stuck and you start taking action to move forward.